This week, an 85-year-old woman was killed by an alligator while walking her dog in Florida. That's why you see me being interviewed here by the folks at Inside Edition. Today, we're going to discuss how everyone out there can avoid this situation for themselves and their loved ones in the future.
We sincerely thank all of you happy campers out there. Your support makes a real difference in our efforts here at Kamp Kenan. This week's special shout out goes to LJ Moorer. Thank you for all you do and for loving reptiles.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Kenan here, and today I'm going to demonstrate to you a couple of things. Recently, a woman was attacked and killed while walking her dog. She was 85 years old here in St. Lucie County, walking too close to the water where an alligator grabbed her dog. She bravely fought the alligator up, and unfortunately the alligator grabbed her. It was a 10-foot animal and brought her into the water where she finally succumbed. It's a very, very sad story, and today I want to go over the fact, a few things that you can do to be alligator safe here in Florida. If you've never seen any of my videos, I hope that this will be some kind of lesson for you. We've got a raccoon that was euthanized. I've set it up on this natural fiber rope, and we're going to demonstrate what it's like when you are walking your pet close to the water's edge, to give you an idea of just what these animals are capable of. So we're going to head on in, and here we go. You can see Dale. These are two alligators that are actually habituated to human beings. So most of the attacks occur with animals that are habituated with human beings. Unfortunately, though, it could also happen with wild gators if they're just focused on a prey item. Dogs are just about the same size as large raccoons. Alligators are ambush predators. We've got Dale here, she's out. We've also got Snaggletooth, and he's just gone under. So what I'm going to do is put my dog down here, and I'm just going to go ahead. My dog might be playing by the water. I'm just going to drag it. You can see the animals are extremely aggressive at the moment. I really wanted him to get it, and once they get, you can see I'm pulling the best I can, and that's it. Now, that is not what would happen in the wild, friends. If that were in the wild, that attack would have definitely been a little bit more surprising. You know, you would have been surprised. And as you can see, this pond has been drained a little bit, so there's not a lot of water, and he's a 12-foot alligator, and he is completely obscured in this water. So if you're playing, you allow your dog to play near the water's edge. That's where these animals hunt. They've been doing it for millions of years. These are animals that have remained unchanged for millions of years. And they've been just displaying this behavior over and over and over again. It's really a sad story. I mean, here in Florida, we're very fortunate. We have great weather. It's a beautiful place to live. And so many of us, like myself, come from up north where we don't have alligators in the waterways. And you need to treat every single freshwater body, and even in some cases, saltwater bodies, like they have alligators in them. Here in Florida, alligators there's about 1 million alligators, a little bit over. They were once almost completely wiped out. They were on the endangered species list back in the 70s, and then they put into place some protections for these animals. They have rebounded. They're incredibly adaptable. They make use of any freshwater habitat. So if you live up against a pond, some of these planned communities, they have ponds. You may think the ponds are isolated, but everything has a drain here. There are large culverts where these animals can get in through they can come from these wild areas into populated areas on these highways of canals that we have. And they are so good at being undetected because they look like some of the flotsam and jetsam that might be in these canals. They look like a log. They look like a piece of trash. And you can see her right here. And what I'm going to do is, as I'm telling you about their behavior, but I do have some food for Dale, so you guys just don't think that Dale it doesn't get fed. Dale, come here, girl. Here's the thing, Dale. Dale. Come on, Dale. Come on, Dale. The thing people need to understand about alligators here in Florida is these are very, very intelligent animals. They are at least as smart as your dogs. Here she comes. She knows that I feed her. I like to feed them on these tongs. You can see she's highly motivated. Okay, she's going to come out and she's going to grab this. There you go. Now she's being fed, she's being a good girl. These animals are habituated to me. They know when I have food and when I don't. No. So let's get her another bit. But to be safe here in Florida, some of the things you should do. Number one, never walk your animals, never walk your dog near the water's edge. An animal this size could definitely take your dog, could actually take a human being. In fact, the animal that got this woman was only about 2 feet larger than Dale, was about a 10-foot alligator. It has since been caught and humanely euthanized. It is a very sad situation that truly can be avoided. Look at how fast she is. Let's give her a squirrel.
I mean, you kind of taught something this morning too.
Yeah, this is true. I actually this morning I did teach a group of women from Boynton Beach, elderly women living in a community. I was a part of a shoot with Inside Edition, and I was going over exactly what I'm going over with you guys. They called me, they needed someone who knew about these animals to kind of give this class and remind people that we are in fact living with these modern dinosaurs. These are animals that have survived into modern times. They are closely related to the dinosaurs. They have a common ancestor of dinosaurs, the archosaurs. They are also related to birds, and as you know, birds and dinosaurs are closely related. But one, as far as being alligator and crocodile safe, this goes for people in Australia, never walk your dogs close to the water's edge. Specifically, never do it during dawn and dusk. That are the hours where the animals are in the transitionary phase. They're hunting, they're in the water. You know, they're doing that stuff. Here she comes. Come on, girl. Come on. Okay. And basically, what happens is, you know, when you're walking that dog close to the water, they zero in on that smaller object. But if they can't get that, they're happy to get you as well. They're opportunistic. So whatever animal they can overpower and eat or you know, kill, they'll just keep that food item with them for as long as they need to for it to break down. They'll do a death roll where they'll rotate and they'll pull apart chunks that they can actually eat. So this is an animal that has been doing this for millions of years. She's got my thing there. So it's very important not to walk your animals near that. The other important thing is, like I said, just treat every body of water like it has an alligator in it. Stay about 20 feet from the shore. Never swim in any body of water that is not properly patrolled and lifeguarded. Don't think it's like up north, you could just cool off in a stream or canal. Most accidents happen when people just are not alligator smart. They're just doing silly things like swimming in bodies of water they shouldn't be. You know, it's nearly impossible to keep alligators out of any body of water, so always be wary. If you live on the water's edge, I'd invest in a fence to keep alligators out of your swimming pools, out of your yards, to have a safe area for your dogs to play without these animals being able to get in. Very, very important. The other thing, and one of the biggest things that you need to do, is no matter how great the temptation, never feed a wild alligator, because they wind up losing their fear of human beings. And that's exactly, you know, what can happen. When they start to see human beings feeding them, they associate you with a positive outcome that is being fed. These animals, of course, are in captivity. They'll never be released into the wild again. And they are going to stay here for the remainder of their lives. So you can see right there, she's getting her little treats, and she's very happy. These are also animals that don't need to eat often. Right now, it is winter time here in Florida. These guys are going to eat, and I won't have to feed them again for another month. They haven't eaten for about 3 weeks. It's because their metabolism's a little slower, but since we've had some really warm days, I'm going to go ahead and give them a heavy feeding, and it just coincides with the fact that we can talk about this very important issue that's so current in our collective consciousness because of the sad news. You know, I hate it when humans and these animals have these negative impacts, because you know, we do so much work here on this channel to demystify and you know, show the beauty of these animals. The reality is they're predators. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. These are animals that absolutely have the power and capability to end people's lives. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want families to suffer like the family that is suffering right now. You know, I think this person was extremely brave for protecting her animal and getting that animal, saved that animal's life. That woman, in my opinion, has died a hero. It is extremely sad. I can't imagine, you know, my mother is in her 80s and I couldn't imagine anything happening to her like that. It's just extremely tragic. So, you know, I really feel for her family and anyone who's lost a loved one in this way. It's just important for us to remember that no matter how much we build and how much we become masters of our world, it's very important to keep in mind where we are, where we live, and understand that there are animals that don't know what century they're in, and they don't care. They are doing what they've been programmed to do for millions of years, and that is to survive, and they will do it any way they know how. So if we can all just be alligator aware and conscious and just follow the advice that I'm giving you on this video. Don't walk near the water's edge. Don't feed alligators. Don't swim in places that you are not 100% sure of that are safe. You really don't have to worry about being attacked by an alligator because human-alligator interactions of this sort are very, very rare. Anyway, folks, that bit of information doesn't make it any easier that someone lost their life this week. And I just wanted to do this video in case someone is out there and I'm able to remind you the next time you're visiting Florida to be safe. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you guys again on another episode. And most importantly, we want to keep our loved ones safe, like my wife who just snuck up right over here. I'll see you guys again real soon. And we got our alligators fed here. And thanks for being a part of this channel. Let me know in a comment below. Do you have any interesting alligator stories from when you were visiting Florida? Have you ever seen wild alligators? And if so, maybe they would want the dog that's barking to be perfectly honest, because that dog is always barking in my videos. But we love them. I promise. No dogs are going to be fed off here. Thanks so much, and I'll see you again real soon. Take care.